The screen's not shared.
Yeah, all right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sprint 57 for YakShaver. We are getting into it. So first up, our team was this team, lots of people. Sprint goal was to make sure that NDC went well, and it did, which was great. So getting into the done items, I'll move over to the view here in GitHub because it's a bit easier to see what's going on. So Sprint 57, lots, just as an overview, there was lots of website changes and lots of kind of little bug fixes and incremental progress towards getting this thing live on the Teams app certified so that we can get, which is the last domino to fall over, so we can get clients on it. So improving icon consistency, pretty straightforward. We had an issue where some durations were showing in different places differently. That's been fixed. The website, I should have put all the website stuff together. That would have been easier. But just so you know, update top arrow menu indicator. What was that? That was this guy, I think. So this arrow here was pointing sideways and it would point down when you went to it, but that looked like videos was a sub part of it. YouTube video host. This is an ongoing issue we've been trying to fix up so that you can select where you want your videos to be hosted. It caused a problem for the multi-tenancy. That's been fixed up. So the roadmap page, if you go to roadmap, that would still stay open when you came here. Now that's been fixed. We have started looking into how we're going to do Stripe for pricing, so we can have the different tiers. I'll just show you. Sorry, hang on. Control W that so it gets out of my way. So if I show you the pricing section, we are going to have different levels of usability, a freemium model, etc., etc. So we're looking at how to use Stripe. We've talked today about talking to the Tina team to make sure that we're synced up with them because they have done the same thing and they made some mistakes. So we want to make sure we don't make the same mistakes. They've already fixed those mistakes. Okay, there's been ongoing changes throughout NDC, little tweaks that we've been pinging Caleb, and he's been doing those as we went through. There was an issue with the file name for the video, had funny symbols. That's been fixed up. This is the leaderboard. Let's have a look if there's a screenshot on this one. So Stephen is back to working on the leaderboard again at the moment. I don't know if Adam, if you remember, we're going to have a couple of extra columns here for bugs and features as well. That's in the next sprint. So on mobile, I believe there were some issues here. Looks like there are no issues anymore.
I wouldn't work on a feature like that before getting client number one onboarded.
Oh, okay, brilliant.
Yeah,
Rick,
I do think that the team should swarm onto that until Rick says, I don't need your help, thanks.
Cool. All right, Rick, do me a favor, man. Can you pull that out of the sprint for the next sprint? So by the time I get there, it's all fixed. Thanks.
Yep.
So update the blog post and ROI calculate in pricing. So there's been little changes to how this section works. Add a waitlist page. Okay, so we had to pivot last sprint because we figured out we weren't going to be able to onboard people by NDC. So we've added a waitlist to the website, so you can see join waitlist up here, and also in the pricing section here, join waitlist and all the tiers here. Okay, so this is the UI for configure. Oh, so okay, this is the UI for seeing what the configuration is for video hosts, but you can't actually interact with it yet. Is that right, Rick?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So the next step for that, is there a PBI for making it actually configurable?
Yes, I think we do have it in the backlog.
We do. Okay, brilliant. Cool. Can you just find where it is in the backlog and just drag it up a little higher so it's visible for us in up in the sprint? Thank you very much. This is the problem with a big backlog.
Just a question. I'm assuming that hasn't been done because there is a need to have CRUD operations in the API, and at the moment the only thing that you've given is the read. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. When you're doing this, are you using any framework that is automatically spitting out the create, read, update, delete? were you doing everything manually?
No, we're doing through this OAuth authorization. So this is only querying the authenticated services.
Right.
So if it's connected, it will show tick, YouTube connected. If it's SharePoint, it will say SharePoint connected. But the whole handshaking process is using OAuth 2.
Cool. All right, moving on. So there was an issue where we couldn't tag people with a user. That's been fixed. There was an OData error for large videos. That's been fixed up as well. And then a couple more small changes. So the making sure the waitlist is visible on mobile as well as desktop, because it was popping up in the menu. So we wanted that to be visible straight away because everyone was accessing it on their phone in NDC. And yeah, we didn't have a robot subtext, which was meaning that we weren't indexed. That was we discovered that in day 1 of NDC, and it was fixed up for day 2. But for day 1, it was awkward because we had to get people to type in the URL exactly, yakshaver.ai, in order to go to the website. Now they can Google it, and it's the first thing that pops up when they Google it. Any questions on PBI's done? Nice bridge, Adam. Showing off he's in Sydney. Okay, cool. I'll move on. So code coverage is about the same. There was 3 production releases. Availability was up the entire time, which is great. That's actually accurate now. That used to always say that. But as we saw from last sprint, that does dip sometimes. So we didn't have any availability problems. These have been looked into. They're mostly just 404s and things not to worry about. We're still investigating why Yang Shen has 33 shaves. She's been away. I think Stephen and I have both asked her, but neither of us has got a response yet. The roadmap has changed. So this is interesting. So we are at 100% for 3 or 4 different epics now. So the ones that we have just been finished are these 2. So we've marked them as done, moved them down the bottom. The current next main thrust of the project is going to be to allow, in our case, SSW people to use it with their clients. So if we've got a client and we want to be able to shave to their backlog and have that video saved in their SharePoint, we need to be able to do that. So that's the next thing. And then after that, it's just continuing to try and get the Teams app certified so that clients can onboard it. We have people on the wait list now. Once that's done, those people will be able to onboard. So we have 159 PBIs created in the last sprint. 78% or 75% of those were made by YakShaver, and 130 done in that time. So we are growing the backlog, not shrinking it, but not by a huge margin. The only change to the AI tooling is that Lewis has got Claude 3.7 working on his cursor instead of the default, which is a big improvement. All right, retro notes. I'll give you the basic gist of it. NDC was pretty good. Everyone was pretty happy. There was a fair bit of interest in the booth and in the product. We got 40 people onto the waitlist. An interesting note is that a lot of those people are using, about 2/3 of those people, I think, are using Jira as their backend, as their backlog. So yes, we would, based on that, we will need to prioritize the Jira integration. The good news is there is a Jira MCP server now, so that will speed up how quickly we do that. But still, that's the thing. Oh yeah, so Adam's talk was really good and a really good lesson about building AI applications, but I think we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit by calling it Shaving the Yak with AI. That was a bit of a inscrutable title, and we were competing with, lessons learned building enterprise AI apps and stuff like that. So that was a lesson for us for talk naming, not for a user group, but for a competitive landscape like NDC, where you want to make sure that your talk sounds better than the guy next door.
And what should we rename that for NDC Oslo?
Yeah, good question. I think it should be, lessons learned building building a what is it, client ready AI application or something like that. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, we'll think about it, but basically something like that, I think.
All right. Okay.
Cool. All right, moving on to planning. So we have these three are to do with finishing off what we were trying to do last week, which is basically getting a new tenant onboarded. We have a lot of website changes. Some were made last week, but there's still lots and lots of feedback we've had, which we haven't implemented yet. So we're going to be plugging away at those. And where's the big one? There he is. That's the big boy, which I'll pull up a little bit. Oh, the others are in review. Never mind. I'll leave it there. Which is to get get it so that we can use it for a client. That's the main things to talk about, I think. So we will. Any questions on the upcoming sprint?
That PBI, I think, should say client #1, just so you know. But the guys can fix that.
I'll do that right now. Give me a second. Cool. Done. Beautiful. No, ClearNet. All right, beautiful. So this video will be on our usual YakShaver channel. Guys, thank you very much. See you soon.